So today I'm going to make a large compost bin, one that my tractor can get into actually. So here it is. I'm going to do these 6x6s, do 6 of them. I got my auger here, and I'm going to auger the holes out. I'm going to go probably 2-3 feet deep. Got my concrete here, got a 10-foot bit, or a 10-inch, I'm sorry, 10-inch bit for the auger. So I'm gonna go about 2.5 feet deep, and then go 8 foot in between so I can get my tractor in here. So I got a lot of grass to cut here, and I always have a lot of you know, grass clippings and stuff, and I just leave it where it is, but I thought there could be a lot of value to it. And of course I got a lot of compost and leaves and things like that, so figure I'll just build a compost bin, and that way I can recycle the lawn clippings and utilize them. They're great for around garden beds and things like that. Really organic, really helpful. So I'm gonna walk you through it. It's probably gonna take a couple days. I'm going to set everything today in the concrete because we got a little threat of rain, but actually we had some rain not long ago, but I think the ground is still ideal for this sort of thing today because you know, it hadn't been saturated, so should be able to pull these, drill these pretty easily. So we'll see how that goes, and hope you'll tune in for the entire video. It's going to take, like I said, a couple days to do everything in stages, but I'll show you the end product, and I think you'll be impressed and find a lot of value in it. Hopefully you can do the same thing. On we go. Well, that's pretty square. Each one is 96 inches off the other. And I'm really just using those as placeholders for the, so I can spray paint around them. So. Take the auger back. I rented it for about an hour, and I was kind of in a hurry because they were getting ready to close at noon, and I didn't want to have to rent it for the entire weekend. So anyway, my holes are it didn't really do 100% of what I was hoping it would do, because the clay, the ground is so solid. We haven't had rain. I mean, we did have rain yesterday, but before that it was probably a month, and so it's just complete solid clay, almost like concrete. So as you can see here, I poured a little water in there hoping that it'll break it up a little bit, and I got my 6 holes done, but they're just not deep enough. So I poured some water in there, and I'm going to try and use a post hole digger and see if I can kind of clean it up, because because I don't want to put these in too shallow and compromise the stability of this compost bin. So I'm gonna clean all these up, and then hopefully I can get to a point where I can at least set my my posts in today. Let them sit for, you know, maybe a couple days or a week or whatever before I move on to the next thing. So I really want them stable. But this is just crazy. We just haven't had any rain. I mean, look at that. It's just puddling in there. It's not going anywhere. So anyway, hopefully this will help. If not, I guess I'll be working on this for a while, because maybe I need a pick or something. I don't know. But anyway, the auger was good. I don't know. I probably could have used a couple more people to stand on it and cut through it. But it just, it wasn't perfect. Anyway, got somewhere with it. But we'll get this done and see if the post hole diggers help. So. That water's helped. That water's definitely helped. So it's just a process. Probably need it to soak in a little bit more, to take a little bit out, let it soak in, take a little out. It's a process. So. But I think I might get to the point where I can set the post today. That's the goal. I got all my concrete, and I really don't want all these bags just sitting here anyway, because it is supposed to rain. So we're making progress anyway. Okay, I think I got them all cleaned out. This one right here is my nemesis. It is complete and utter clay. Just been, I still got it probably about 14, 16 inches deep. So the rest of them are better than that. That one's better. But that one's going to be my nemesis. But I'm going to go ahead and set these now, because thankfully it's not holding up a house or a concrete pad or anything like that. So I think we'll be okay with them if they're not. Some of them are close to 18 inches deep, which I think is where we need to be. But we'll go ahead and set these now, see how that goes. Last bag of concrete. I think I'm gonna make it. Just want to kind of even everything out. Well, I anticipated about a bag apiece, a bag of whole, and that was perfect. So now I got all that in, gotta let it set. And that was the main thing. I wanted to get all those set before the weather changes. You know, we're actually, we're supposed to get some rain in the next few days. So I wanted those in there. Boy, that clay was really difficult to get through, but made it. And so the next step is to put my boards up. Of course, that's got to be all set and you know, firm in the ground and everything. So I'll put those on there, and then we'll move on. But for now, these are good. I think they'll be all right. I don't know that I gotta anchor them down or anything, because they're solid. So that's the beauty of 6x6s, I think. Or actually, these are 6x4s. Come to think of it, they didn't have 6x6s, so these are 6x4s. Anyway, I just wanted enough. See, on these two, on the middle ones, I went wider facing the front and the back, because I want to be able to put a board halfway here and over to that one, and halfway here and over to that one. So that was my thinking for that. So we'll see. For now, thanks for sticking with me. There's a lot of work, but I'm glad it's done. I'm glad it's in the ground, and I'll show you the next step. Well, I'm back at it. Took a little break. Had to let everything set. It's perfectly set now. I got these 5/16, I think. No, 5/4 by 6-inch by 10-footers, and I'm gonna cut them down, kind of create a box in the middle of it, and then kind of separate them by about this much in between. And so I think that'll work. These were pretty inexpensive. I had a couple laying around, so that's kind of what I wanted to use these. But I think they'll be pretty hardy, and they're treated, although I don't really like using treated and chemicals and stuff like that, but it is what it is. The other ones just would warp in very little time. So I'm going to try these and see how that works. So I got my handy dandy chop cutter over here. I'm going to cut these down to 8 foot and then just kind of fasten them in there. I'm leaving enough room in between this, I guess it's about 1.5 inches maybe, in between each slat, so that air can move through. That's the key. You want to be able to have air come in, and then I can pull my tractor in, pull it, and turn the compost. That's the goal. You know, you got to keep on turning it for it to break down and provide value. So that's what the slats are for. Couple things to note I just thought of. I'm using these 3-inch deck screws. They're not supposed to rust or anything. These are the green ones. They have them in all sorts of colors, like gold and black, and anyway, I like the green. And I like the clean edge of the board to actually be facing me. So kind of try to hide the cut end. You know, this is not the sharpest saw, and it kind of, you know, tears it up just a little bit. So I like that where you can't see it. So if you notice, I got clean edges all in the front. Those are just some things I would, if you were going to do it, probably try and remember. That said, you don't have to do it the way I did it. Got 3 boards left. I'm gonna run out of boards. I think I'm gonna go one more high on these. Well, I'm done for the day because I ran out of boards. Trying to decide if I need to go one more higher than the tallest board or not. I still got a couple more here, and then I'm trying to decide if I want to also come in here and do all these on this side, which I probably will, just to make it look uniform. But it's coming along. I like the look. The pond in the background is a nice addition, but yeah, it's reasonably level. But I think I like the fact that I use these 1x6s. They're really good, easy to work with, and it's nice. This is centrally located. I got my raised bed garden over here, and then next year's garden here, which I planted a cover crop here. As you can see, it's a lot greener there than the rest of this Bermuda. So I'm going to till all that up next year, or in the spring. Hopefully this cover crop will provide a lot of value. So it's coming along. Need a couple warm days and maybe a little more rain, and we'll be there. So anyway, I got a little more to go, probably one more high, and then kind of figure out what I'm going to do for the front, and if I'm going to do a top. I don't know. I may just leave it as it is and not do a top. And of course, I'll cut off the 4x6s at the top there, wherever that may be. I'll cut them off with a chainsaw. So probably one more day of this, one more height, and we'll be about done. Well, I'm back at it, trying to decide what I want to do on the front of this. I could just leave it open for now. Definitely want to cut these off here, make everything level. But it just kind of reminds me just to kind of give you a little background of what you can put in a compost bin and what it's really made up of. Here I have some old, it was hay, a bale of hay that a friend had given me I was using, and you know, that'll break down. As you can kind of see, it's turned a little black. Now that's a carbon material, and the best way to utilize a compost bin is to mix carbon materials with nitrogen fixers. Nitrogen fixers would be like grass, anything green or fresh, you know, like if you got fresh fruit or something like that. Mix that with your carbons, and good carbons would be, you know, even like sawdust or coffee grounds, leaves. A lot of people use leaves. They're a great carbon material. But you want to mix it with your nitrogen fixers, and just stack it up in here. It may take a while. I intentionally left these for the breeze to come through, because you want to be able to get some air movement in there. And then I made this intentionally wide enough to get my tractor in, because that way I can turn it over easy. I don't have to come in with a pitchfork and have to turn everything over. And eventually it'll break down, it'll heat up. It'll be interesting, even in the wintertime. It'll be, if you were to stick a thermometer down into the mulch bin, it would be probably 30-40 degrees warmer in the middle of there than it would be on the outside air temperature. So it's great how it breaks it down. Just anything really. One thing I probably wouldn't put is like crawfish or any kind of shrimp or anything like that. That may not break down quite as well with a shell. Your run-of-the-mill banana peels, even a piece of meat that you didn't finish the fat off of it. I mean, that could probably be considered a carbon material. Just throw that in there, and it'll all break down, and it'll be wonderful compost. It may take, like I said, take some time, but it'll be wonderful compost. You can use on your garden. You can use it wherever you'd like. So, old 2x10s that I use for building my raised garden beds. I had a couple laying around, so I thought I'd rip those down and kind of build the front to where I can slide some 1xs in to kind of at an angle to kind of give it a little depth and actually help the breeze go through it a little bit better. So what I'm doing is going to rip these down, and then I'm going to build the essentially the foundation, the frame for my angled slats. So got my saw set up. Got this one at I think it's a 30-degree angle. No, it's a 45-degree angle. And I think, so essentially this is going to be the edge of the compost bin, and then I'll just slide my slats in at a 45-degree angle all the way down. So this will be, I'll cut my 2x10 exactly 45 degrees on all the slats. It'll make more sense when I get to building it, but now I got to cut the lumber. So these will be the sides here where the slats will come in at an angle. I'll put them in at an angle, and then this will essentially go right there to keep them from falling all the way in. So that's how it'll affix. And that way I can get a 10-inch board at an angle in here. So that way I can get that 10-inch board in there and still have plenty of room, plenty of room for my tractor to get in. That's the goal. So now I have my guide board and my stopper board, and then I'm gonna go cut triangles to allow my boards to come in at an angle. I'll probably do maybe like a 1x10 right there. That way they're nice and light when I pull them out. Easy to pull out, but that way it'll allow the breeze to come through, of course, and it makes it easier to just grab them off there when I want to pull the tractor in and just set them to the side. So that's the plan. Cut some 45s here as my guides. Probably maybe 3 or 4 45s. So we're almost there. Almost there. Well, got it done. I found these pine 1x10s right here. I'm gonna probably have to stain them just to protect them from the sun and everything. But I like the way that looks. One thing I probably would change is maybe a little sharper angle here. And I don't know. I like the way the breeze will be able to go through there with, just fine. But maybe a sharper angle to kind of close it up a little bit would have been better. But I like it. But it's done. Beautiful. It's all I have to do is take these 3 boards off when I want to pull my tractor in there to turn the compost. But it looks good. Looks good. I'm pretty proud of it. I maybe could have gone one more higher up here, one more row, but I figure as wide as it is, I'm not gonna run out of any room for compost, that's for sure. And the main thing is I want it wide enough to get the tractor in there, and it's done just fine. So This thing is not going anywhere. It's solid as a rock. So I hope you've enjoyed my ride and hope you've learned something from it. I sure have. I'm very gonna use this. Got lots of grass to throw in there. Got lots of compost to make.